Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. Happy Monday. Welcome to Troubled Minds News. And all that means is, nobody's capable of doing the news anymore because, it's all propaganda, it's all lies, it's all BS, it's all spin. And so here we are taking it upon ourselves to actually talk about news that matters and not to try and turn it into a political pooflinging contest, let's say. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what this show is. And for those of you that are new, I know we have new people coming in all the time. This show started with Troubled Minds, the other show that we do, which of course is aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, and all kinds of other weirdness. But this in particular, we used to do a news segment on that show. It just got larger and larger and larger, and so it made sense instead of leaving all the news behind, because, when you talk about Bigfoot and then you do like half a show that's news, it doesn't really make for what you would call, quote, evergreen content, if you know what I'm saying. Like, people always want to hear about Bigfoot, but nobody wants to hear about last year's news. You follow me? So it made sense to kind of trim the news out of the show itself and then make its own show. So here we are. Here we are doing it. Like I said, happy Monday. It's not as dire as it seems. Trust me on that. And that's what we're doing. So we talk about the news and kind of look at some of the things that doesn't get enough attention out there. Meaning, of course, all kinds of things. Clearly, if it's political, it gets all kinds of attention because they want to brainwash you politically. So if there's any sort of political angle in any sort of news, they're lying to you, for sure. 100% for sure. So we're trying to avoid that and do just more of the standard news take. So that's that. If you want to be part of the show, we have a Discord running, and we also have a phone number up, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And you can be on the show that way. Simple as that. And it's just part of the transparency process here where, like I've always said in the past on this show, try and call Don Lemon in the middle of his propagandist tirade, or Sean Hannity, whoever, and you can't, because they don't want to be interrupted, because their precious minutes they're on air are to brainwash and propagandize you. So they can't be interrupted by some random jackass caller. Well, the good news is the people that listen to the show are not jackasses whatsoever. So a call by you is not an interruption. It adds to the conversation. And so also to the transparency, 702-957-1037. Let's start with the news, shall we? Let's start with the news. Start spreading the news. All right, here we go. Let's begin with this. Let's start here. All right, this is I actually don't think we talked about this last week, but we should have, or maybe it happened after the last news show. Anyway, so Joe Biden said that Facebook is killing people with their information. What's up, guys? I see you out there in chat. How are you? Jay and Helena, welcome. Biden was actually saying this last week about Facebook. He was saying that they're allowing the spread of disinformation, all right, and it's killing people. They're killing people, right? Literally killing people is what he said. Now, of course, we've been talking about this, and there's this great article by the Babylon Bee. Actually, as part of that, may as well let me pull that out because it was really funny, and it's completely correct. Now we've talked about this. Oh, I did say this last week that these folks are, Biden is doing this, and the last administration they mentioned it, and everybody lost their mind. Well, this time it's happening, and nobody seems to care. But here we go. Let's start with this instead. Let's start with this one. This is from the Babylon Bee. Yep, and this is exactly what we talked about. I think this was Friday. Facebook introduces new report post to the White House button. And of course, this is a satire site, so this is not completely true, but it is kind of true in that Jen Psaki from the White House press briefing unit there said that they're working with Facebook to tell them what to take down, right? So now this is pretty funny. Babylon Bee, always hilarious stuff, and of course they get kind of shot down and attacked for being fake news, but well, this is just parody. This is just this is actual satire of the news. And so, well, welcome to the here we go. As part of an attempt to slow the spread of misinformation on its platform, Facebook has introduced a new report post to the White House button. The feature allows you to flag posts for the Biden administration to review for misinformation. Handy for opinions you disagree with, comments critical of the government, and any expressions of freedom or other anti-government sentiments. The button will instantly cause any post to be reviewed by the current administration. Biden staffers can then check whether or not the post violates its standards of truth and flag the user for further monitoring by the government. Quote, "We applaud Facebook, our new fourth branch of government, for taking these steps," said Jen Psaki. "This will go a long way to helping us suppress information we find displeasing. Those who get flagged multiple times will be candidates for re-education in Biden's gulags for spreaders of misinformation or a reduced social credit score." Now, of course, again, this is from the Babylon Bee. It's all satire, so none of that was actually real. All right, it's just kind of real. So here we go. Now, Biden clarifies since Friday. He says this. President Biden on Monday balanced his earlier blunt criticism of Facebook by blaming bad actors on the website for spreading dangerous misinformation about the coronavirus and vaccines. But he still called on the social media platform to be more aggressive in combating the problem. Right? More censorship. Shut up, people. The things you say are anti-government, and we need to take this stuff down. Right? This is what's going on. The president said he hopes that instead of taking it personally, Facebook spends more energy focusing on the outrageous misinformation being spread about vaccines on their popular social network. Biden put Facebook on the defense last week after accusing it of killing people by allowing the spread of misinformation about coronavirus vaccines. Now, isn't that rich, though, by the way? A government, like an actual president of the United States, accusing a social media company of killing people with its policy. Isn't that rich? I mean, everything they do kills people, the federal government, by the way. Everything, literally everything. They make a change in healthcare, and so they're like, oh, by the way, all these extra people are now covered, but they don't tell you about the 15 million who are now fucked and up shit creek and now may die because they can't afford their insurance, right? Like, this is exactly the type of stuff that's just like these people don't live in the real world. They just absolutely do not. They're like, pointing fingers. And so clearly by putting pressure on Facebook, or trying to here, Joe Biden expects Facebook to react, right? Because of course, but in the end, we know the real truth of this, don't we? We know the real truth, meaning that Facebook runs this show because they're the ones who will fund or not fund Biden's next campaign, right? So that's the deal. And not only that, they're the ones who will trim out the right-wing propaganda, the dirty right-wingers. They're the ones who will trim those guys off and, thin the competition for Biden, when election time comes again. So this is the type of stuff that's like, okay, yeah, sure. This is posturing. Literally, Mark Zuckerberg is probably more powerful than Joe Biden, honestly, if we're being honest here. And so he doesn't give a shit. He's like, whatever. You go, yeah, killing people, sure, buddy. So they put out a statement, whatever, maybe it's in this. Let's see, there you go. Now, so anyway, Biden clarified, quote, Facebook isn't killing people. These 12 people out there are out. Yeah, there are these 12 people are out there giving misinformation, Biden said. Anyone listening to it is getting hurt by it. It's killing people. It's bad information. So again, as we said, that recently the White House has tracked down 60% of the misinformation with vaccines down to 12 people, right? And one of those people, by the way, is RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Or wait, yeah, is that right? Yeah, that's correct. Yes, famous son of Robert F. Kennedy and the nephew of JFK, right? So he's a known conspiracy theorist and also an anti-vaxxer. That meaning that's what they label him, but he's putting information out there that's maybe needs to get out there. And that's the thing, that it's not about what may or may not be true anymore. It's about what the government wants you to consume, right? That's really what this is about. It's about battling for the power of the brainwash medium, right? And that's what's going on here. So anyway, okay, thanks, Joe Biden. Go back and take your nap. All good with us. All right. So because of course, right? It's not the other guy. If it was the other guy, it'd be outright like ridiculous. People on Twitter would be losing their damn minds, and they still are, by the way, just in a different way. Okay, let's go to the Atlantic.com. Maybe it's aliens. Or maybe it's volcanoes. Yeah, right? Yeah, sweet. Scientists are still trying to figure out what could be brewing on the planet next door. Now, oddly enough, we've talked about this in the past. Now, there's a little thing called Venus, a little planet called Venus. And it's got this thing in its atmosphere called phosphine. Remember this? First, it was like phosphine on Venus, there's life. And then it was like a couple months later. So that made all the headlines. A couple months later, more scientists were like, nah, it's not. And then that didn't make the headlines at all. Well, let's see if this makes the headlines. They're talking about phosphine on Venus again and the possibility of life. There we go. Let's see here. I'm referring, of course, to Venus, the planet, second from the sun and right next door to Earth. The planet with a furnace-like surface and clouds made of sulfuric acid. The one that shows up in our night sky is a golden jewel, and that helped pave the theory that the sun, not Earth, was at the center of the solar system. The most recent restless, let's see, come on. These damn Atlantic articles are so flowery and wordy. Get to the shit, people. All right, let's see. There we go. On Earth, phosphine has been found in the intestines of animals, us included, and in swampy communities of microorganisms. The group of scientists concluded that something must be replenishing Venus's supply. Perhaps a mysterious Venusian life form. Uh-oh. They said it, not me. Venus instantly becomes one of the most exciting targets in the search for life beyond Earth. But the phosphine detection was a flicker of evidence, not a definitive proof. And the flashy discovery transformed into a slow-burning debate as other scientists joined in. Some researchers said their own analyses turned up empty for phosphine. Others found hints of phosphine buried in decades-old observations. Still, others argued that the signal corresponded to an entirely different gas. The original team held on to its conclusions even after an error in telescope data forced the researchers to revise down the amount of phosphine they had detected. New scientific papers have regularly cropped up since, swinging the discussion in one direction or the other. And that's what's going on. So they're arguing about phosphine and Venus and life there and all the rest of this stuff. I don't know. I have no idea. What's going on here? So first it was yes, then it was no, now it's maybe so. That's cool. Actually, you know what, though? This is how science is supposed to work. Yes, no, maybe so. Let's find more evidence and proof and put it through the scientific method, and then we'll give you a better answer when we have better information, right? That's how science is supposed to happen. Not, well, misinformation, take it down. That's not how science is supposed to work, by the way. What's up, guys? I see you there in the chat. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out with us today. All right, so what do you think? What do you guys think? Is it Venus? Is there life on Venus? Is this anything to this phosphine in the atmosphere, or is it just a bunch of BS? Who knows? As usual, I have no freaking clue. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to pound my fist and tell you one thing or the other, but well, you decide. But we will keep an eye on it as it's developed. This has actually been probably like a 9-month story developing, and when it first came out, like I said, it made the headlines for the clickbait value of OMG, life on Venus, and then when the other papers came out that said, nah, probably not, like I said, they didn't make the clickbait headlines, right? And this is what I'm saying about a dishonest media. It's like if you're going to push one, then when it actually, there's evidence to refute your first claim, you need to push that equally as hard. But nobody wants to click on that second one because right? We already knew that there's no life on Venus, right? But I mean, there may be. I'm not saying there's not. I'm saying that, right, the default scientific basis is no life on Venus, right? That's where we're beginning, just because that's, well, they need proof of that first. But you see what I'm saying. Nobody cares, because if you're going to click a headline that says no life on Venus, no shit. So nobody's clicking that headline. And that's why everything we get in media is dishonest AF. And that's the facts. That's the facts. What's up, guys? How you doing? Let's see. Excuse me. I've got this cough button I should use instead. Let's do that. Yeah, coffee is not good. Gets waddled up in your throat. It's no bueno. I mean, coffee's delicious, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so let's keep on trucking here. This is SciTechDaily.com, and so we're gonna move away from Venus for just a moment here, and let's go to Mars. Now, on Mars in particular, actually, before we do that, let's do this. I think we have to take a quick break with a word from our sponsor, and that sponsor is you.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up to 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
All right, so this is from SciTech Daily, and we have new images from Mars Zhurong rover. And this is kind of cool, I think. On May 14th, 2021, the China National Space Agency, the CNSA, achieved another major milestone when the Tianwen-1 lander successfully soft landed on Mars, making China the second nation in the world to land a mission on Mars and establish communications from the surface. Shortly thereafter, China National Space Agency shared the first images taken by the Tianwen-1 lander. Tianwen-1 lander. Yep, that's right. Let's see how Microsoft Mike says that. Let's see if he speaks Chinese. This should be amazing. Let's,
Shared the first images taken by the Tianwen-1 lander.
Tianwen-1 lander. There it is. All right. Anyway, May 22nd, 2021, by May 22nd, the Zhurong rover descended from its lander and drove on the Martian surface for the first time. Since then, the rover has spent 63 Earth days conducting science operations on the surface of Mars and has traveled over 450 meters. That's it. 1,475 feet. So in 63 days, it's gone a little less than 1,500 feet. Huh, weird. On Friday, July 9th, and again on July 15th, the CNSA released new images of the red planet that were taken by the rover as it made its way across the surface. Since the rover deployed to the surface of Mars, it has been traveling southward to explore and inspect the terrain and has taken daily images of rocks, sand dunes, and other features using its navigation radar. Okay, anyway, so pretty good stuff here. There's some nice photographs. If you believe they put a man on the moon, or if you believe there's people or there's rovers on Mars, then here you go. This is there it is. There you go. There's photographs of looks like the tracks from the rover itself, and all kinds of other neat stuff. They apparently found their parachute, which landed nearby, which is this photograph here. So as they were driving by, they took a picture of their actual lander and the parachute as this kind of fell out. Anyway, pretty good stuff. If you guys want to check out these high definition images from China, they are there, and it makes me wonder, right? So remember how we discussed that on the Mars helicopter, they put a 15 megapixel camera and that was it? No like super high def or anything? Well, I'm not so sure about that, because that's a pretty hot picture from the Tianwen-1 lander. So I don't know. That's pretty high freaking quality if you ask me. Probably better than 15 megapixels, and I'll bet you, by the way, I'll bet you this has been compressed. Yeah, I mean, you're telling me that no, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it that they put a 15 megapixel camera on that. There's no way. They have some sort of 4K thing. Because, well, we always get the sloppy seconds, as you would say, and we get the images as they've been downsized or redacted or whatever's going on here. But anyway, whatever it is you believe about the space or not space or the moon or Mars or not or the other thing, I don't know. It's up to you. Like I said, I'm not here to try and convince you of anything or otherwise, but it is what it is. And there's these supposedly photographs of Mars, and China's there, and some pretty good stuff with the. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Anyway, good stuff. They're up there doing their thing and hanging out. And yeah, all right, let's keep on trucking. Let's go to the AP. Let's see. Canada to let vaccinated U.S. citizens enter the country on August 9th. Oh, yeah. What's up, Night Stalker? Arizona's looking nice. Yeah, those are the photographs straight in from Joe Roop, sending them to the China. He's a Chinese agent. Canada to let vaccinated U.S. enter on August 9th. All right, now little did you know, right? Think about this. For all the crap that the United States got for trying to close down borders during the coronavirus, right? Like the world over, our press was just like so pissed off. Oh my God, it's the most racist thing in the world for you to shut down the borders, you dirty assholes. Well, by the way, this entire time Canada has had its borders shut down, and the only ones allowed back are Canadians, right? So, Canada to let vaccinated U.S. citizens enter country on August 9th. So, and this is what I'm talking about. The part of the upside down. It's okay for one country to do it and get away with it. I'm sure they've had their press spit and vinegar over there as well. But it's like if one country can do it, then the other should be able to do it without the sort of blowback that we got for again, Orange Man Bad suggesting we should close down the borders. OMG, what a racist thing. But anyway, because Canadians are a mostly white country, and then because we are predominantly a white country, I guess you could still say that, is that, it's not racist, so it's okay. You see the hypocrisy? In any case, Canada announced Monday it will begin letting fully vaccinated U.S. citizens into Canada on August 9th. Right? It's been like this for a long time. And those from the rest of the world on September 7th. Right? All right? Officials said the 14-day quarantine requirement will be waived as of August 9th for eligible travelers who are currently residing in the United States and have received a full course of COVID-19 vaccine approved for use in Canada. Public Safety Minister Bill Blair, who said he spoke with the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas on Friday, said the U.S. has not yet indicated any plan to change current restrictions at the land border. Canadians are able to fly into the United States with a negative COVID-19 test. Asked in Washington if the U.S. would reciprocate, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, quote, "We are continuing to review our travel restrictions." Where's everybody freaking out? Where's the freak out? Calling them racist. Anyway, any decisions about resuming travel will be guided by our public health and medical experts. I wouldn't look at it through a reciprocal intention. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jen Psaki. Thanks, press, for the softball questions. Thanks for not giving a shit about things that really matter because you got your people in the administration. It's all good, right? It's all dirty politics and dirty as usual. Yeah, here we go. Speaking of dirty politics and dirty as usual, check this out. We've got this. The COVID recession, this is from CNN, by the way, your most trusted source in news. The COVID recession is officially over, and it was the shortest on record. Wow, everything's back to normal. Can you believe it, says CNN? Yeah, fuck off these people. The pandemic-sparked recession ended in April 2020 after just 2 months, according to the National Bureau of Economic Research. That makes the most recent U.S. economic downturn the shortest on record. Before the pandemic, the shortest recession was in the 1980s, lasting 6 months. Last year, nationwide lockdowns began in March. Businesses closed their doors, laying off millions of Americans. Schools went to remote learning, forcing even more people out of work. All of that plunged the U.S. economy into a deep hole. Economic activity measured through the gross domestic product contracted at an annual rate of 5% for the first 3 months of 2020 and at a record 31.4% the following quarter. During that period, America shed more than 20 million jobs. But the low point of the downturn occurred in April 2020, and the economy quickly began to recover, according to Monday's NBER report. NBER defines the first month of a recession as the period following... Anyway, whatever. Shut up, people. No. Okay, and so the good news is, sure, fine. If they're saying this, I'm sure they're cooking the books because they're lying bastards. That's what CNN does. But if they're cooking the books on this, I didn't pull up the report. I'm not going to like cross-reference their bullshit and try and tell you it's not real. I know the source is probably phony. But the thing is this. So we're going to celebrate, right, because this is propaganda, clearly, right? It's going to be propaganda saying, oh, look, the right people are in and we're out of this. It's bam. Everything's fine. Everything's well and fine and well and good. But notably, the housing market is out of control, and we're approaching another meltdown, another 2008. Prices here in Vegas, by the way, of houses have like doubled. Like no shit, maybe not entirely double, but like they're up like 60 to 70%. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And that's probably like after a 50% increase over the last 4 or 5 years. It's insane. Like it's literally, so California is not affordable. There's homeless people out there, tons of them. And the home prices are through the roof. And now California is moving all their equity here to Vegas and to Tahoe and Carson City and Reno. Right, the next state over, Nevada. And so they're bringing all their equity and their high-paying jobs over here, and they're driving up the prices of the housing. Well, guess what? This economy can't sustain that because, well, they don't pay as much here as they do in California. So guess what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm not Nostradamus or anything. I'm just a guy that watches the news, and guess what? We've got a recession coming in. It's probably going to be very big. So go ahead and have them take their little crappy report in their 2-month. Wow, it's the shortest recession on record because the big one's coming. And it's inflation and it's keep printing money. Go ahead and crack down on Bitcoin like you've been talking about, you dirty bastards. And look, the housing market's going to explode. This is all, again, right? This is all mismanagement by these stupid government officials. And, well, here we are. Anyway, that's my prediction. You want to put Mike Stradamus on a stick me to it. In the next 5 years, we have a catastrophic 2008-like recession and possibly depression. Right? There you go. Put me on record. Call it. Because, well, all you have to do is pay attention. That's all you got to do is pay attention. All right, here we go. So let's go to Axios.com. Yeah, that's fine. I was going to, make it relevant to what I just talked. Whatever. Whatever. Okay, here we go. Axios.com. U.S. and key allies accuse China of Microsoft Exchange cyber attacks. Weird. Who knew this was happening? Whoever talks about this? Weird, right? It seems like the Chinese are they seem to be as patty cake as the Biden administration when it comes to the press, right? So in this one, Axios in particular, Ina Fried, author of this, whoever this is, Fried, I think it's Ina Fried. Anyway, she says that this is what's going on. And of course, if you're going to get anybody talking about this in the mainstream media, it will be mostly nobody. And if they do, it'll be just very briefly. Here we go. The U.S., NATO, and other allies are collectively calling out China for malicious cyber attacks, including a March attack that exploited a flaw in Microsoft's Exchange server. Yep, why it matters? It's the first time that NATO, a military alliance founded in 1949 to confront the Soviet Union, has signed onto a formal condemnation of China's cyber activities. Well, it's about damn time, NATO. Where the hell have you been? China's been cyber attacking and stealing shit forever. These people are dumb. Zoom in. Here we go. Authorities are detailing more than 50 different techniques that Chinese state-sponsored actors used and offering up recommended mitigations that businesses and organizations can take. The U.S. says that China's Ministry of State Security is using contract hackers to conduct the attacks, many of which are being done for profit, including via ransomware. The U.S., NATO, European Union, UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and Japan say they can now, quote, with high confidence, attribute the March attack using the exchange flaw to cyber attackers affiliated with China's State Security Ministry. That attack crippled thousands of computers around the world. All right, yeah. As a part of Monday's announcement, the Justice Department unveiled criminal charges against 4 Ministry of State Security hackers for a multi-year campaign targeting foreign governments and entities in key sectors, including maritime, aviation, defense, education, and healthcare in at least a dozen countries. Yep. Between the lines, they say there are a number of countries that have been blamed for past cyber attacks, including China, Iran, Russia, and North Korea. The U.S. says Russian government hackers have been known to sometimes also moonlight in for-profit attacks, but in this case, it was the Chinese military working directly with the attackers. Yeah, like I said, this is the type of stuff that we've talked about on this show a lot. We used to talk about China a lot on this show, and it probably doesn't run us up the algorithms, that's for sure, because China's paying everybody, right? China is on the move. They are doing some dirty stuff, and it's not good. This stuff is not good. Hold on, let's see. Let's get another one here. Here we go. China. There we go. Let's go to this other one from Politico, China, right? All right, let's undo the ad blocker before it kicks me off. But okay, here's the deal, right? So China's hacking the shit out of everybody, and that's as long as anybody's paying any sort of attention, that's been clear for a very long time. Now, they have this thing, we've talked about this in the past, it's called the Belt and Road Initiative, right? Belt and Road. And what that means is, I'll tell you in just a sec after we take a quick break. You're listening to Troubled Minds News, and I'm Michael Strange. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds News. Let's go back to China. Now, I mentioned the Belt and Road Initiative, right? So not only, do we have China hacking the shit out of everything worldwide, anything with any sort of value they've got their tentacles into, but now we've got this, right? Their Belt and Road Initiative. So we have this thing, now communism, now this is one of those things, and I'm going to get on my soapbox for just a little bit. Now, communism and capitalism in a free society, which again, I don't even believe we have anymore, but it's slipping. But let me be clear. Communism and capitalism, our version of capitalism, which is crony capitalism now, by the way, because we all know that, you have to buy a senator to get anywhere. But so that's all dirty and broken and disgusting, right? That's not real capitalism. But in any case, communism does not fly with private property rights, and private property rights are part of the Bill of Rights, okay? And so those two things are not compatible. And so you see what's happening when we have this entire government structure being trying to be turned over and run off as a racist society. It's because of that, because that pesky Bill of Rights is stopping the private property rights things, is stopping something like the Chinese Communist Party to basically be a worldwide power. All right, and so you see why we're one of the largest targets, etc., and why they continually, like all of our politicians, they'll put their hand on the Bible, it starts smoking, and they say, "Will you swear to protect the Constitution and defend it from enemies, foreign and domestic?" And they say, "Yes, I will." And then they go and they immediately start undermining the Constitution. Weird, don't you think? And not only that, it's weird that nobody notices. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Anyway, Belt and Road Initiative. So China is actually taking advantage of other countries' private property rights. Now, as a result, look what they're doing. So instead, in China, they can just gobble up whatever resources they want and just steal them, right? Communism. That's the way communism works. They're like, well, we're just going to take it. We need it. We're going to take it, and we won't even compensate you. Fuck off, right? That's how they do it. Well, look what they're doing. They're using our private property rights against us by, yep, that's right. This is from Politico. China is buying up American farms. Yeah. How could this go wrong, right? Washington wants to crack down. Okay, sure. The push to drain China's influence from the U.S. economy has reached America's farm country, as congressional lawmakers from both parties are looking at measures to crack down on foreign purchases of prime agricultural real estate. House lawmakers recently advanced legislation to that effect, warning that China's presence in the American food system poses a national security risk. No shit. What's worse? What do you think is worse, guys? If Bill Gates buys up all the farmland or China buys up all the farmland? What's worse? Is it equal? It's both. They're both bad, right? They're both bad. But what's worse? In any case, the debate over farm ownership comes amid broader efforts by Congress and the Biden administration to curb the nation's economic reliance on China. Oh, really? Is that what they're trying to do? Especially in key industries like food, semiconductors, and minerals deemed crucial to the supply chain. The call for tighter limits on who owns America's farms has come from a wide range of political leaders, from former Vice President Mike Pence to Senator Elizabeth Warren. Wow, that's not two people you'd find in the same sentence often, is it? Unless you're one one person shitting on the other. Anyway, the point being, right? So if you have private property rights and then you sell them to foreign entities, then well, to the CCP in particular, it may as well be selling them to China proper, right? To just the Chinese government directly, and giving them portions of our land, because of course, right, it would take an act of God for Congress to sack up and like take these farms back and say, no, China, you can't have this, right? No, because they're sackless, they're wimps, and that's that. But anyway, so the Belt and Road Initiative is exactly that. China realizes that they can use other countries' private property rights systems against them by just simply going into those countries and purchasing particular, let's say, areas of value. And of course, farms would be areas of value, right? So imagine if China owned all the farmland in the United States. It's not the case, but imagine so. If so, they would clearly have a huge sway over everything we do here, because I could just be like, well, fuck off, we're just going to, not water our crops this year. And then we have a huge problem. You see what's going on? In any case, right? So the thing is this, is that they're not only they looking to do this, they're buying up property in Canada. By the way, it's happening in other countries. It's famous, notably, that the China owns both sides of the Suez Canal, and these are the things they're doing. Right, they're purchasing these strategic, high leverage areas all over the world, and now the CCP owns them. So imagine, let's just take this and then run it 200 years into the future, and say, well, China is going to continue buying up strategic assets, and then what? So will China literally just by paying people, by handing over Chinese money that they print, be able to buy 2/3 of the world that way? Let's say 200, 300 years from now, like actually own 60% of the world. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit strange to me that nobody really gives a shit about this, because it's not happening the other way. As far as you could shit on the United States and say, well, they have military bases all over. Yeah, but they're not gobbling up strategic assets like that. Anyway, point being, I don't know. This stuff is weird, and nobody notices. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Speaking of cracking down, Janet Yellen. Good old Janet Yellen urges federal agencies to act quickly on stablecoin regulation. This is from Yahoo News. And yeah, top U.S. financial regulators convened on Monday to expand discussions on a regulatory framework for stablecoins. Yeah, that's right. Stablecoins. A type of digital currency that bills itself as a less volatile asset class than other cryptocurrencies. Oh, I see. You mean sanctioned by the government. Got it. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen had a meeting with 5 federal regulatory agencies to discuss the rapid growth of stablecoins, according to a Treasury readout of the meeting Monday afternoon. The nation's top regulators acknowledged the potential for stablecoins to be a useful means of payment, but advocated for setting up guardrails to protect stablecoin users, the financial system, and national security. Yeah, quote, the secretary underscored the need to act quickly to ensure there is an appropriate U.S. regulatory framework in place. And by the way, is anybody watching crypto? The crypto space is dumping hard because, the FBI? Remember that ransom with the pipeline? They paid them. The FBI was able to recover a large portion of that Bitcoin exchange, and so everybody freaked out because they thought these Bitcoin wallets and this whole crypto space was more untrackable, right? It was an untraceable thing. But if the FBI said, well, we'll just hit the refund button and take our Bitcoin back, thank you very much, everybody panicked, and that started it, and then all kinds of things happened after that, and the crypto space has taken a huge dump. And it's as simple as this, right? So all they have to do, they could destroy it with just like the stroke of a pen here, and just create their little stable coins, which they call them, which are basically the same damn thing except sanctioned by the government, right? So all they have to do is tax these stable coins at a lower rate, tax the shit out of Bitcoin and all actual crypto, and that stuff will vanish. It will go quietly into the night. It will vanish without a fight, and that's exactly what we're talking about here. And so I don't know what's going to happen as we pay attention to this. We will continue to, because this, they don't. Basically, the dollar is slipping because they're just printing money like assholes, and without Literally, we're literally probably have so much debt that we can't pay it off in our lifetime on a national level. Our grandchildren, 3 generations down, 2 generations down from us, will now suddenly be the bearers of this debt. And not only that, by the time it gets to them, to their time to be able to pay taxes and the rest of this, that it doesn't even matter because it's going to be way higher than that anyway. And it'll be on to their grandchildren and beyond. I'm telling you, there is a concerted effort to bankrupt this country, to break the system over its knee so they can reform it just like China. I'm telling you. If you don't believe me, look up something called the, what's it called? It'll come to me. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. That's what we're looking at. This is bad. This is all bad. Too much regulation as usual, right? Whatever. You know me. Pisses me off. Let's see what else. Looking at the chat. What's up, guys? Let's see. Helena says, I noticed Boris Johnson used the word regime in his speech today. Oh God, did they just sign up with China too? Yeah, great. Perfect. That's all the world needs. Okay, anyway, let's get off of that because it depresses me, and I don't like to be depressed on a Monday. Let's talk about Mars again. The Ingenuity helicopter spies intriguing features on Mars during a record-breaking flight. All right, we got some more Mars pictures here. During a recent daring Martian flight by the Ingenuity helicopter July 5th, the chopper acted like an aerial scout for the Perseverance rover as it sailed over rough but intriguing terrain. Now photos taken during the 2,051-foot-long flight are helping the Perseverance science team develop the rover's exploration plan. The Martian helicopter did things it had never done before. Now, this is good because when I first read this, I thought they were only going to do 5 flights, and that's all this thing was good for. But it was 5 planned flights, and then now they're kind of just going willy-nilly, which is good. This thing's still running, it makes me happy we didn't spend a ton of money, and the thing lasted for like a week. But anyway, the 9th flight by Ingenuity broke the helicopter's previous records for flight duration, distance, and cruising speed. Unlike any of the previous flights, Ingenuity dipped down into a crater, descended over undulating terrain, and ascended before landing on a flat plane. The aerial excursion, lasting 2 minutes and 26 seconds, provided the best look yet at challenging terrain that would be difficult for Perseverance to travel, as well as science targets that the rover won't reach for a while. And oddly enough, we have these pictures. I think it's just CNN. This is from CNN that doesn't put the nice high-resolution photos, but we got these crappy photos of, I don't know, the Nevada desert, Arizona. I don't know. Well, what are these going to be? Mars or something? Oops, wrong article. Anyway, so this is kind of cool that the helicopter, quote, the helicopter is an extremely valuable asset for rover planning because it provides high-resolution imagery of the terrain we want to drive through, Tupet said. We can, autoplay. We can better assess the size of the dunes and where bedrock is poking out. That's great information for us. It helps identify which areas may be traversable by the rover and whether certain high-value science targets are reachable. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than that's a good thing. And what can you do? What can you do? I mean, this is Mars. The Mars, the red planet, right? I don't know. Good stuff. Like I said, it's good to get your head out of the political stuff for just a little bit because, well, it sucks. And these political people are just off the rails. All right, here we go. This is pretty cool too. This is now this is from. Oh, by the way, we are live. If you guys have comments on this or anything else, and you want to be part of the show, you can give us a call at 702-957-1037. Pardon me as I yawn. Troubledminds.org is the official website, and that's that. You can get on the show that way, watching the Discord and watching the phone line. The thing is this too. How do you guys feel about some actual additional podcasts that aren't live? Like maybe Troubled Minds Cases, something. I was thinking of something like this. I'm working on a shorter format to not take anything else away, just to add to the podcast feed. And I don't know. What do you guys think about that? About like an actual, like a whatever it is, like the African, right? The school, the aerial school, like just a little hour type of non-live me kind of putting together like the breakdown of what happened and what some people say and what the skeptics say, and then kind of just a quick little hour thing. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. And yeah, we're not at an hour yet. It's almost there. But anyway, let's go back to this. This is from aeon.co, and this is pretty cool. This is a non-standard model, right? Most cosmologists say dark matter must exist. So far, it's nowhere to be found. A widely scorned rival theory explains why. And so this is a nice long article, which I love long articles because they're fantastic and they have a lot of good information. And it's a long and winding road to get to the point. But so I'm not going to go through it because we don't have time. But point being is that they're trying to say that we should be looking at. The headline here is, we should explore alternatives to the standard model of physics. And I say, no shit. I mean, this is exactly like if we get locked into our own ignorance, let's say. Not that physics is ignorance, it's clearly not, but it's one of those situations where if we kind of get locked into our own system, we may miss the forest for the trees. A larger system exists that we haven't taken into account yet. So anyway, you guys know, this is, I'm preaching to the choir with this. This is nothing you don't know, but it makes sense to me that, yeah, we should probably look further than our standard model of physics and try and figure out what the hell's going on out there. All right, what's up? Let's see. Quint says, what's up? How you doing? Robert says, I noticed some of your podcast shorts on Facebook. I like them. I meant YouTube. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So the thing is this, guys. Basically, like I said, we're starting to make a little bit of money, and it's from the podcast, from the actual podcast feed. So if you want to help the show, listen to the podcasts. There's little commercial blurbs in there, and when you listen to those, I do get paid a few cents. So that adds up. So the thing is this. Basically, I found out that when I was catching up all the podcast feeds, if you pump a bunch of content up to that, more money comes. So I'm like, wait a minute, if that's the case, maybe we can supercharge this and get to a point where I can do all of this, only this full time at some point faster if I just pump up more content faster and just kind of like skip the natural growth process and just pump it up there. But that's what I was thinking. So if that's the case and you guys want to help the show, listen to the podcast feed. But if I can put like an additional little hour episode of like I said, Troubled Minds cases, you guys okay if I do something that's not live? Yeah, Troubled Minds Investigates, something like that. You guys okay with that? That's okay. It's extra content. I'm not gonna charge you anything, clearly. But that's what I mean. So I always say our shows have always been live, and I make fun of people who don't do it live or can't do it live. But then I'm like, wait, is that a step back? Is that, I don't know. I guess as long as I'm not taking anything away from the live stuff, I think it's probably fine, right? So anyway, I'm gonna try a couple prototypes and put them up, and stuff on. Actually, by the way, the Travis Walton case, like in particular, stuff like that, like super famous UFO cases, super famous kind of mythologies and folklore, like that vampire in New Orleans, things like this, right? So anyway, I'm going to try it, and we'll see. We'll see if you guys are interested. If you really dig it, I'll just do more of that, and we'll see. Anyway, so like I said, I think there's a way of just nose to the grindstone, just kick ass and put a bunch of really good stuff up there, and maybe we can get me doing this literally all day, every day, which I can't spend that much time on this. It may seem like it, but I have to cut a bunch of corners just to get all this content out. So anyway, let's go. Let's continue. But all right, so there doesn't seem to be any people complaining out there. No, more like probably like an hour shorts, like an hour. Yeah. So, somewhere in that range, maybe like 30, 45 minutes an hour. I guess it depends on how long the story is. But okay, here we go. Let's go to 9 to 5 Google. Google is examining a Scottish route on Google Maps that's been called potentially fatal. What in the world? This is, I was like, what? You got to be shitting me, right? For the geographically naive, Scotland has some of the highest peaks in all of the United Kingdom, including Ben Nevis, with more people taking up walking and hiking in the UK in lieu of gym and sports club access due to local and national COVID restrictions. Many in Scotland will have taken to certain trails in and around Scotland's highest mountain, Ben Nevis. At 4,412 feet or 1,345 meters, it's not necessarily huge, but reaching the top is no easy feat. A problem route with Google Maps is directing to a car park at the head of the mountain when traveling on foot. Maps seems to suggest a route that requires the traversal of very steep, rocky, and pathless terrain. Mountaineering Scotland and the John Muir Trust has even released a joint statement suggesting that even the most experienced mountaineer would have difficulty following and traversing in good visibility. Concerns have grown with Heather Morning, Mountaineering Scotland's mountain safety advisor, suggesting that the Google Maps route is potentially fatal. All right, there you go. There's just a public service announcement that don't follow Google Maps off of a cliff, because they may send you off of a cliff. I'm just saying. Make sure you excuse me. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Make sure that you use your human sensors first. Make sure you look around and don't just blindly follow where Google Maps tells you where to go, because, well, this particular route is called, well, potentially fatal. Potentially fatal. All right, let's keep on trucking. This is from the SCMP, the South China Morning Post, and let's keep on cruising. Let's talk about this. Could China's molten salt nuclear reactor be a clean, safe source of power? Yeah, right. This is cool. The thorium-powered reactors do not need water as a coolant, meaning they can be built in remote deserts alongside wind and solar power plants. The technology should be safer than uranium-powered reactors and may also dispel some of China's worries about energy security. Yeah, cool. So this is paywalled, so you guys know what to do. But this is a first. Actually, a team of government researchers in China have unveiled the design for a commercial nuclear reactor that is designed or expected to be the first in the world that does not need water for cooling, allowing these systems to be built in these remote areas of deserts and whatnot, away from water. So interesting. We'll see if this works. But yeah, we'll file this under how could this go wrong? Yeah. Quint, what's up? Robert says a lot of content creators cut up their live podcasts into small topic bits. Works for them. Yeah. So don't get mad at me, but I'm going to start funneling you guys to not off of YouTube and onto the podcast feed. So I'm going to start doing kind of that. But anyway, so like I said, as long as you're listening, right? It's, I don't know, would it piss you off? I don't know. Like I said, there's like the like I got to find path to walk, meaning that like there's a path to money here finally, and I'm like, okay, so how do we maximize that without pissing you guys off the most, right? Like, because clearly if I'm spending my time doing this, I've put over $200 a month into this for years, 3+ years now. So I want to get some of that money back at some point, and eventually I want to be able to make a living doing this if possible. If it's not possible, that's okay. But right, like eventually, the goal is to just be able to do this full time and just do shows, several times throughout the day and just like smash it, kill it. But anyway, that's the point, right? So it is a fine line to walk of monetizing things without pissing you guys off, because, well, this doesn't exist without you guys. So that's why I'm asking for feedback. That's why I talk about it on the news show like this, because there's not really a place for it on the other show as much. But anyway, here we go. So this is another one. This is from Gizmodo.com, and this is a hot take. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Salcido, what's up, James? Yeah, it's been a long road, man. It's been a long road for this show. Like I said, 3+ years, and finally, this month actually is the first month we've had where we weren't losing money. It actually made a little bit, and I'm spending that on ads now. So even whatever is coming back, I'm now also spending. So, yeah. Anyway, just so you know, that's what's going on. But let's go to this real quick. Gizmodo. Yeah, space tourism is a waste. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this? This is a hot take. Jeff Bezos, the richest man on earth, etc. Anyway, so if these billionaires get their way, there'll be more of these commercial flights in the future. Virgin Galactic has already said it already has $80 million in deposits and sales plunked down for its flights. All three of these men are gunning to make space tourism a thing, but it comes with a major cost to the rest of us. Yeah, well, we'll see. I think this is actually a valid take. They're labeling this under environmental justice, which just makes me want to punch myself in the face when I read that. But I think that it is, I'm not the king of the world. But if I were, let's say I ran the CCP, I would say that it is a waste. If we're gonna be sending people to space just for kicks, why aren't we putting them instead? Why don't we prioritize a base on the moon first, right? Or I don't know. It seems like there's so many other things to do besides, well, let's just send people up for kicks on a 3-hour tour, right? Like Gilligan's Island and shit. Like, it's one thing if you hop on a boat, right, and you go out and you kick it at the island a little ways out. But this is not the same thing at all. This is spending a ton of resources. This is, I wouldn't call it environmental justice, but I would call it maybe misappropriating resources. And, but I mean, it's their money, right? But I don't know. Anyway, whatever. What do you guys think? I'm not sure what we're going to do on Troubled Minds tonight, but I thought maybe this. Mysterious new Borg DNA seems to assimilate genes from different organisms. And this is from ScienceAlert.com, and this is today. This is all, most of this news is from today or yesterday. Mysterious strands of DNA seemingly assimilate genes from many different organisms in their surrounding environment have been discovered in a Californian backyard. Scientists have named these elements Borgs, and their discovery could help us not just understand the evolution of microorganisms, but their interactions within their ecosystems and their role in the broader environment. According to geomicrobiologist Jill Banfield from the University of California, Berkeley, Borgs could make for a tremendously significant discovery. Quote, "I haven't been this excited about a discovery since CRISPR," she said on Twitter. "We found something enigmatic like CRISPR is associated with microbial genomes." Okay. Got it. A paper describing these structures has been uploaded to preprint server BioRxiv and currently awaits peer review. The first of the Borgs was discovered in a mud dredged up from Banfield's backyard. She was working with geneticist Bassem El Shaib of UC Berkeley to identify viruses that infect anoxic microbes known as archaea that live in wetland environments. Yeah, anyway, there it is. Weird, right? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? The Taskmaster gene, huh? Is that what you're calling this? Yeah. Let's see. What's up? What's up? Alien Echan, I think you deserve to do whatever you need to do to make money. You've been a favorite of so many for so long. It's time you reap some rewards. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. But like I said, I don't want to make it so obtrusive that you guys are like, fuck this, I'm not listening anymore. Right? And you're like, oh, God, another ad, right? Like, that's kind of the point, too. So I appreciate that. Very kind sentiments from you guys with this stuff. You've been very, very kind with the changes we've made, and I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think about this? Science Alert, mysterious new Borg DNA? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It creeps me out. Let's see. What's up, James? Don't forget to message me whenever you want to come and talk to the show. Ghosts, yep, definitely. Appreciate that. Yes. Thank you, guys. Appreciate everybody with the kind words out there in the chat. All right, so the deal is this. We're at, like the Night Stalker said, that was a fast hour, right? Time flies when you're having fun. And this is fun. This is a fun thing, right? It's kind of fun to go through news and not propaganda. Or at least if it is propaganda, call it out. And yeah, it's definitely fun. Thank you guys. I appreciate you hanging out, being here. Like I always say, you could be doing a million other things, and you are here instead, and I'm honored by that. And the good news is we got more. The bad news is we're done. The good news is, God willing, in 3 hours, we will have another show. 3 hours and 1 minute we will begin, and we'll do Troubled Minds tonight. I don't know exactly what we're talking about. I'm thinking maybe this Borg thing. What do you think? I was thinking maybe the Akashic Record, maybe the Borg DNA. I don't know. We haven't talked directly about the Akashic Record before, so I think maybe going into some of that may be fun. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I don't know. You guys decide. Those are the two ideas I had. Night Stalker had a good idea. He's going to send me some stuff about, and no hurry still, by the way. There's plenty of time. We got plenty of shows. And also there's an extra show, by the way, on Saturday. There's like some Fringe-a-thon or some other thing going on, like a 24-hour stream on Fringe. It starts on Friday night after the Joe Roop show. So that would be at 9 p.m. Pacific time, and then it's going to go. So they'll start with Ryan Gable 2 hours after that, and then it will be live radio for 24 hours to try and generate some funds to get Joe Roop back to Arkansas. I think that's the deal, to get the Fringe back home to where it began. Something like this. I don't know. I don't know the exact details. It's something like that. But anyway, that's what's going on with that. And here we go. So what are we doing? What do you guys think? You prefer the Akashic Record? You prefer this Borg stuff? Yeah, a combo of both. What's up, Vicky? Yeah. Well, the thing is, right? We could do both of those. We could just do the Akashic Record today, and we could do the Borg stuff tomorrow. So it's okay. Like it's all good. Like I said, usually the ideas I have are few, because I've exhausted so many that if I get an idea, we usually just run with it. So we may do both of those shows, but I'm kind of leaning toward the Akashic Record because that sounds like a fun idea, a fun show to do with the spaceship under the Sphinx and the Emerald Tablets and all that other stuff. So pretty good stuff to go with that. So I think I'm leaning toward the Akashic Record tonight. But okay, anyway, let's do real quick. Pardon me. You didn't know it, but I had a sneeze-a-thon because I have a cough button. See if I use it properly. When I'm choking on myself over here. All right, so let's pull up the thank you to the folks who have subbed up to Patreon and on Twitch, and play this as we roll the outro. Yeah. See, if you're doing it right, you got a cough button. So if you have to, do a little burp or something, it doesn't go out on the microphone. But doing things right all the time is hard. Anyway, here we go. Where's this damn thing? There it is. All right. Here's the crawl. Here's the thing. So this is a Star Wars crawl, thanking everybody that's subbed up to the show, that's supported us, all the rest of this stuff. If I've left you off, if I've mispronounced your name, let me know, and I will correct that, and let's do it. Let's get back to this and say thank you to the folks who subbed up to the show, and let's roll it. Like I said, God willing, we've got more. Bad news is we're done. Good news is 3 hours from now, we've got another Troubled Mind show, so stay tuned for that, and we'll be on Fringe, and we'll be on Periscope, DLive, Facebook, and YouTube. And here we go. Let's play this and this. Right. A huge thank you to all of our amazing supporters. Join the list today. Twitch subs. Yep. Thank you to AJ Dare, Alien Nichan, Dark Devious, 40s AM, Ident J Up, also 40s AM. Shout out for all the gift subs. Appreciate that. Ident J Up. What's up, Johnson? Jay from New York, Noble Kal-El. We got Monochromatic, Not the Golf Channel, Quint67, Stinky Carnival, Super Bike 1, Satan Claus, and our Patreon supporters. Of course, thank you. Alien Nichan, who's done both. Thank you. Appreciate that a lot. Axel Steele, Dark Devious, Dwayne Dibley, Hell21, J Up, Matt Sowell, and Twigs. And that's that. That is a wrap for Troubled Minds News. Like I said, we'll be back tonight. Let me know what you guys want to hear. That's what I'm thinking about for this week for shows. Like I said, Night Stalker had an idea for time travel. We may get to that at some point this week or next week. We'll see. And I haven't seen Loki, by the way, so that puts me at a disadvantage there. But Gibby, robots don't choke, Mike. Well, I guess you found me out. I'm a hybrid robot, a transhuman hybrid alien DNA. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so deal is more Troubled Minds at 7 p.m. tonight. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you then, and happy Monday. Don't let it get you down. 2 shows on Monday to bring you out of the doldrums. All right. Have a fantastic one. We'll see you in a few hours. Thanks again for hanging out with us. Thanks for all the positive thoughts. Thanks for all the contributions to the show, all the great chat, all the great calls, you guys, and thank you for supporting us. I appreciate it a lot. We'll see you at 7 p.m. Pacific.